Hello everyone. Today I wanted to share my story with you. So my story starts way back before I was born, with my grandparents and great-grandparents. As far back as we have history, they were all farmers. Some of them had big giant farms, some of them had little tiny farms that were just for their immediate family. And that brings me all the way down to my more recent grandparents, and they did things like raised prize hogs. They had thousands of chickens and provided eggs to local grocery stores. They started retirement facilities. My grandparents also, some of them traveled the world, building churches. And then that brings me down to my parents and a little more personal about my upbringing. So my parents had businesses, several of them. And one of them was they planted trees for paper companies around the United States. They have construction companies, heavy equipment companies, firewood companies. They've sold real estate and several other things. And that had an impact on me. That means I had a front row seat to how small businesses work, how they succeed and how they fail. As a child, I have spent many hours in lawyers' offices trying to save those businesses. I was also, as a child, trained to answer the phone professionally because the home phone was also the business phone. So I learned how to take orders and direct delivery personnel. And then in high school, I started my own business. I had a roadside produce stand over the summer, which allowed me to raise enough money to buy my very first car. So the history of watching all of this, hearing about it for those grandparents I didn't know, and then firsthand experiences through my upbringing helped me helped me grow and learn. That just became part of my culture, having small business in my life. So when I started college, I thought, hey, I do not want to have all those experiences personally. That was fine for all my ancestors. I want to live and have a fantastic, wonderful job working for a big company and have all those benefits of insurance, a steady income. And so when I went off to college, I decided I was going to be a veterinarian. I was going to love hanging out with all those animals and having all the furry things come visit me in my office. So the first year of college, I spent learning all the tiny details of biology and spent lots and lots of time studying, hours, having sleepless nights, trying to pass all those tests, and I decided maybe this was not going to be for me. So I switched to my major in business and accounting, and it was much easier for me. It was things I understood, things that came naturally. So I went that direction. During my college, I had lots of tiny jobs, of course, like most college students. They ranged from a CPA office to H&R Block to a collection company, and all those jobs gave me the idea of what the financial world kind of looked like. When I graduated, my first job out of college, I worked for a property management company. They had hundreds of units, and some of those were owned by the business themselves, some were managed for other investors, and most of those properties were apartment buildings for college students and military families. My boss was a great guy, and he was an ex-CPA. He had a wealth of knowledge both in the tax field and running the small business, and he was very helpful in training me and teaching me what financial statements were, what daily entries were, how that all connected, and how that related to running a small business. Next in my journey, I decided I needed to stay home. I wanted to have kids and take care of my growing family, and so that's what I did. However, I quickly realized that with my husband's teaching salary, that we were not making enough money to meet all the financial demands. And so I did a little bit of consulting on the side and trying to make a little bit of funds that way. Then I started looking into something else to do. I knew I wanted to stay home with my kids, but I needed to make some money, so I tried different ideas. I tried working at a horse barn as a groom with my kids in tow. I tried starting a small construction slash rental company all about the time of the 2008 depression, which didn't go well, as you can imagine. And then I also tried to start my own pottery business, and that also failed miserably. So then I took a step back and I said, okay, this is not working. What are truly my skills? What am I good at in this world? And I looked at my accounting and finance degree. The reason not looked at it before because I didn't want a full-time job, and most all of those safe, secure jobs were away from home for my kids, working full-time all day long, and so I started looking at other options outside of that realm. Is there something I could do from home and still use that degree? So about this time, my brother decided to start a civil engineering business. He needed some help, both with his kind of office management and his accounting and finance. So we worked together, we partnered, and we created a great business together, so great that he eventually decided to sell it. So along that journey, he recommended also that my services to other businesses. So I made connections with other small businesses. I also networked within my own community and started growing my accounting business. My clients started from the local ones while we were in Georgia at the time, all the way to clients all the way in California. And that allowed me to continue to work from home, to set my hours, and still provide an income for my family. So setting up that virtual business about 10 years ago and getting those systems in place for my clients way before it was popular. Along that journey, I've learned that only do my talents and strengths lead me to a career in accounting, but also I love supporting other small business owners, and I love partnering and helping have their passion become better.